January 12th, Tuesday. We took a day off for a big important game we had. How are you feeling, AJ?
Fly, Eagles,
There you go.
fly.
Let us have it. Take your victory lap. Enjoy it.
Oh, that was so glorious as an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of talking to other people now, it's been 2 days. Um, a lot of the rest of America enjoyed watching the Chiefs get their asses whooped. So
Yeah.
it's something that you don't see happen very often,
No, it was a
and
nice
especially on
touch to
that
see.
stage. So
Yeah, it was.
it's kind
I
of that.
was like we've talked about it before, and then kind of it's going to become more and more official as my life goes on. But like Joey was even talking about it the other day, and I was like, "Who's your favorite team?" And he was like, "The Broncos." And I was like, "You can say Eagles." And I was like, "That's okay, buddy." And he's like, "No, he's like, I think the Broncos." He's like, "The Eagles are my second favorite." And then,
Nope.
hold on, buddy, get back in bed. I'll be right up there. And then he was like, it was like immediately where it was like, well, maybe the Eagles. And I was like, it's okay, buddy. I was like, you could be an Eagles fan. And I was like, they play in the Super Bowl Sunday. And so, like, all week, he just was talking about the Eagles in the Super Bowl. And so I was like, dude, if they win this, like, they're both going to be Eagle fans for life. And they were both locked in. The whole Super Bowl, like, they were
Yeah,
watching it. And so I just was like, this is going to be awesome. So Joe was so hyped, like, just so excited that they won. And
that's
yeah, so I
awesome.
was like, this is going to start, like, a lifelong, like, fandom.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Bruni was a little young. She went to bed at 7 o'clock,
Yeah.
so she
No, yeah,
watched
it's.
like the first couple plays. But we had her saying "Go Birds, Go Eagles" all
There you go.
weekend.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There
Um,
you go.
had a great day. Just went to a trampoline park, and she's wearing an Eagles shirt, and I'm wearing a jersey, and people just yelling "Go Birds." I'm like, "Can you yell Go Birds back?" And she's "Go
Yeah.
Birds!" Like she's
Yeah. Oh,
excited.
that's awesome. Yeah, yeah.
So it
That's so
was a lot.
sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
We had
was.
a child's birthday party that day, which I don't. I think should be illegal. It should be punishable by a crime. But whatever, it's fine, I guess. Luckily, they did do it from 1 to 3, which also caught me off guard that like a lot of the parents and stuff, even at there, were wearing like Eagles gear, and I was like, contradicting, but whatever, it's fine, I guess. The party was 1 to 3, so everyone had plenty of time. Kaylee even got an appointment for one of her infusion things and was like, "Can I go do this?" And I was like, "It's Super Bowl Sunday. When we leave this birthday party, I'm going home and not moving, dude. Like, I'm getting buffalo chicken dip, shrimp, beer, and I'm sitting on the couch and
Yes.
I'm not moving for 5 hours." I was like, "This is the last day I get to do this year." I was like, I was like, leave me alone for the whole day. And I was like, and even the boys, like, they were playing with their iPads for a little bit when we got home. And I was like, all right, iPads up. And they're like, what are we doing? I was like, we are watching football. I was like, now you can watch football or you can go to bed. I was like, those are your two options. I was like, you can go sleep in a dark room or you can watch football and pay attention. I was like, there is no leeway today. I was like,
Yeah.
we sit down and we watch the Super Bowl. And yeah, they were all into it though, and I was yeah, they loved like even halftime shows. They both were locked in. They love Kendrick, so like when I told them Kendrick was playing, which is probably a bad dad move, but whatever. They love them some Kendrick Lamar, yeah. So at least they don't like Drake. So but yeah, so yeah, they were super excited about that. Like Mac was up and dancing and stuff, and Joe was just sitting on the couch doing his head bob to not like us, but yeah.
That's
So yeah,
awesome.
so yeah, yeah, we had a good time too. That's yeah, I was rooting for the Eagles. That's yeah, as a hater of the Chiefs, I wanted them to lose as a fan of history and greatness and being able to be like, I was there for that, like, wouldn't have minded seeing the three-peat. But at the end of the day, like, with the boys becoming Eagles fan, you being an Eagles fan, like, it just was like, yeah, like, I would just ride. Like, I have no qualms if they get this dub. Like, good for them. Like there's no like the Broncos and the Eagles don't have this weird rivalry or anything.
Right.
So like I have no issue with being like yeah like they're mine. And so the boys are like my entry now to be like no yeah like I'm a closet Eagles fan because of my boys. I don't have to do it because they're bandwagon and winning
Right.
Super Bowls now. It's just like legitimately from the boys at a local standpoint. But yeah, so that's yeah. I'll never deflect from my Broncos. You'll never catch me saying the Eagles are my number one team, but they have become my number one NFC team, my number
All
two
right.
team. So yeah,
Hey.
it sucks. Yeah, again, not in a bandwagon way, just in a way of keeping my finances in order. Because like I said, go to a game whatever year. I was like, dude, I don't want to be the me asking my parents to fly me to Denver for a game. That sucks, dude. I was like, I would rather them be like, can we go to the like having a random day where like there's a game and you're like, oh, we didn't have shit going on today. What if there's Eagles tickets available? Like those kind, like that's
Yeah.
possible. You can't do that for a Bron. Like let's
Yeah.
fly
They
out,
won't
get
be
a
cheap,
hotel.
but it will be possible.
Right, yeah, but I mean, yeah, even in the years where they're bad and they're playing another bad team, like there's
Yeah.
that day where you wake up and like we could run down and see an Eagles game today. Like that could just happen. Like you can't do that for other games without
Right.
a hefty bank account. So yeah, being able to fly out of state and stuff. But yeah, yeah, happy
That's
for you
awesome.
guys. Fly Eagles, fly,
It's
dilly dilly, go birds, all that
it's
stuff.
so funny you brought up the birthday thing because we're walking out and we walked past the trampoline park. We're walking out and we walk past the party rooms and Jamie looks at me and she goes, "Who would have a birthday party on Super Bowl Sunday?" And I just started laughing because I knew you were at one.
Yeah, so I was like, I was like, let's go. Like, I was like, I should be at home watching stuff. And like I even got
Yeah.
home too. Like the Waste Management Open was ending again. That usually is second weekend of February, but
Yeah.
now because of Super Bowl move, like it gets a little hairy. And like so that was one too where I was like, damn, like I kind of want to watch that. Like that's always the fun one. Like in Phoenix, it's the drinking where everyone throws
Yeah.
their stuff on the course and everything. There was a I don't know if it was a hole in one. Somebody dunked it for an eagle. I think Justin Thomas
Justin Thomas had that like
dunked it from
160
eagle.
yard or
Yeah, it was
something. Like,
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah, that one. I thought someone had a hole in one too, but I think it wasn't.
I didn't
actually
see
a
that
hole in
one
one.
if they did.
Yeah, I don't think it was, but yes, we got home for the birthday party. I put on some of that to watch out for a little bit, and then it was like, all right, yeah, it's game time. Like 5 o'clock, I was like, all right, I want to sit and listen to people talking football now. Like, I just want to hear football talk going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I do just want to read a few stats just because I have to
yeah,
praise
go
my
for it.
man
It's your,
Jalen
it's, yeah, it's
Hurts.
your victory lap, dude. Go ahead.
He
That's a yeah. We
had,
had very minimal script for tonight because
it
it was
was
really just let's let AJ talk shit about the Super Bowl.
it was so satisfying. Monday, I sat here. I did work, but I had the TV on the entire day, just
I did work.
listening.
No, he didn't.
I did. I closed 27 tickets on Monday. I got proof.
Bank CEO. Louis Torchillo, he did not work on Friday.
But yeah, so I just listening to everybody finally put some respect on Jalen Hurts' name made me
Yeah,
so happy because
yeah.
like
And he had such a good game,
everybody,
too.
everybody was just like, well,
And honestly, Saquon
like-
having a terrible game
Right.
is what like emphasized the fact that Jalen did this. Like
Yeah.
if Saquon would have ran
Like-
for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, it would have been like, yeah, but he can't do it without Saquon. Like Saquon didn't do dick. That was their entire game plan was to lock him up, and
Yeah.
then Jalen just went off. Like you guys were just absolutely fucking unstoppable. And then also make sure you talk about White Boy pick 6.
Yes,
Bringing us
Cooper
back, putting
DeJean.
us on the map.
Okay,
That's incredible.
okay, hear me out. I could make an argument that Jalen Hurts outplayed Patrick Mahomes in both Super Bowls.
Oh yeah, and that last one too. Yeah,
Easily.
If it wasn't for the fumble, you guys probably win that game.
Yes.
He
He scored-
would have won, and all these narratives are different. And like you guys have 3 Super Bowls in 7 years. Like
He scores
it's all way
35
different.
points and scores 40 points in 2 Super Bowls. He easily could have 2 MVPs in 2 Super Bowl appearances. 2 Super Bowl
I
MVPs.
also, for the record, you texted it and I loved it. It was one of my favorite parts of the day where you said this makes the Seahawks Broncos Super Bowl look a little less bad. We went to bed with like 3 or 4 minutes ago. Like I was still watching because it's
Yeah.
the Super Bowl. So I'm not going to sleep, but I was like, all right, like let's get the boys in bed and shit while this game is over. I was like,
Yeah.
I count possessions. It's like 4 or 5 possessions with a few minutes ago. I'm like, this shit's fucking done.
Yeah.
Like, so we're up there, like Kayla and I are laid in bed watching it, and I'm watching it. I'm like, okay, so he scored again, and then another 2, and I was like, no, like now they're fucking it up. So I was like, you know what? On record, this is fucking 40-6. Like,
Yes.
you guys gave up 16 points because you were just busy.
We put the
celebrating
backups
that you
in.
won.
Yeah.
Literally, you were so excited you won a Super Bowl. You could see how checked out everyone was, and
Yeah.
then the Chiefs go put up 16 points, like as if there's any momentum with clock expiring. And I was
Right.
like, no, 40-22 does not do justice for what this game was.
Yeah.
This was a 40-6 Super Bowl win. Period. I was like, this is the
Total QBR of 11.4 for Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
Like,
it was he just didn't look right. Like, and I
Yeah.
saw like the rumor that he was hurt and all that shit. And, like, but like everyone's hurt. Like that's not
Right.
gonna get you the.
You had
that's
2
not
weeks
gonna
off.
Get,
Yeah.
that's not gonna get. You had a month and a half before the playoffs started. Like, yeah, you basically had a fucking ACL rehab. Like, there's no way that anybody's giving you discredit for that.
Yeah.
But and also they just have like such a well balanced team. So like with that,
Right.
he was hurt. They should have showed up elsewhere. But like Kelsey not getting targets, like. It didn't feel
It
like you
was
guys were like
rough.
doubling him or anything. Like they just weren't throwing to him. They weren't checking down to him. Like
I
there
mean-
was no like let's get him involved. Like
Yeah.
nothing.
I heard this term because again I was watching many of shows on Monday, and they all were saying talking about like the quarterback seeing ghosts and like how they're expecting rushers to be there, so now they're looking down instead of out to
Yeah.
their routes. And like
Yeah.
when you
He
when you
dude
watch these
swallowed.
plays, yeah, it's just like play after play after play, and it just makes me so happy because I remember leading up to the week, everybody's doing like the team comparison, and they're like, "Oh, Kansas City has the quarterback and the offensive line.
Yes,
That's it."
yeah.
And I'm like, the offensive line. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
CJ
sorry.
CJ
Have you
called that shit 2
seen?
years ago, too.
Yeah. Oh, his tweet was
That-
hilarious.
that-
I'll
yeah.
get to that because I have some beef with Kansas City fans.
I
Um,
saw that too.
They created their own hit list for me, and I'll leave it at that. But But yeah, so I just like, oh my gosh, that offensive line just got destroyed, just play after play after play. And everybody's like, well, they're not that good. I'm like, what do you mean they're not that good? The same offensive line won 15 games. They essentially went 15-1 because they didn't play in week 18. They ran through the playoffs, beating everybody in the playoffs, and then they hit the Eagles defensive line, and suddenly they're not that good of a offensive line.
No, yeah, yeah, they just got absolutely swarmed. You guys, if you guys get Miles Garrett, like,
Oh my
pack
gosh.
it in,
If
pack it in. Like that's a fucking. I hope you trade Jalen Hurts for him so your team falls apart because that's insane. You guys
if you're
add
Miles
that.
Garrett, would you want to go anywhere else?
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I
Yeah,
take a pay cut because that's a ring. That's a ring. Like
right.
that's the Aaron Donald. That's the fucking.
Yeah,
That's the ring that shit because he's gonna have
yeah,
8 sacks next year by himself against the Ravens or whoever. Like,
right.
yeah, it's yeah
That's
he.
another one of my beefs is they're all like, well, I think it'd have been a different game if they played the Bills or the Ravens. We
No,
beat the Ravens.
yeah,
We
no,
beat the
you guys,
Ravens.
yeah,
We had a 3-game stretch where we went, I forget who we played, but then we went to LA and then we came home on a short week and played the Ravens away. I
yeah,
think it was the
and
Commanders. It was
if
our
you
first
guys
game
didn't
against the
have, yeah,
Commanders.
yeah, if you didn't have the loss against the Commanders with backups in and the loss against the Falcons, like you guys have like a wildly insane historic season, and the Falcons
Yes.
are dog shit. You guys would absolutely wipe the floor with them right now. So like,
Both of
had
the
you guys have
losses
just not, yeah, both of the losses
were
were not
one
like
catch. One catch. Saquon makes that catch on fourth down against the
the
Falcons,
Falcons.
and
Yep.
Devontae makes it against the Commanders.
Yeah, and you guys have an undefeated
Yes.
season with a Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's.
I just
Wait,
like
did you have 3 losses or only 2?
we had 3 because we lost
Who
to the
was the third
Commanders.
loss?
The other one was early in the season because we were 2-2.
Yeah, it was bad to start. Who was the other loss? Packers.
No, we beat the
you won.
Packers. Packers. It's the playoffs, regular season. The Bucks. We lost to the Bucks 16-33.
Oh yeah,
We got
that's
blown
right,
out in
okay.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That was the game that AJ Brown didn't play though. You guys
Yes.
weren't healthy.
Yeah, we
you guys
weren't
were
healthy.
not
Yeah.
healthy for
No,
either of
you're
the
right.
2 games that you really lost, and then the Commanders and the Falcons were just like silly dumbass games.
Yes.
That's me like again like you guys were. The Eagles dynasty is over. They've crumbled. They've fallen apart. Sirianni's on the hot seat. Jalen Hurts hates AJ
yeah.
Brown. Like all of that was just a couple months ago, and now
Yeah.
they're one of the most dominant teams ever. And it's like again, like if they would have had this like without that sluggish start, you guys could have had like an insane season. So
Yeah.
to be like, oh, if they played the Bills or the Ravens or the Bengals, it'd have been a different story. Like no, it would not have been.
We
Like,
beat the Bengals.
Yeah, that's insane.
We
Yeah,
beat
like,
the
none-
Ravens.
None of them. Would
We
have
didn't play the
happened. Like,
Bills. And I'm like, you really
honestly,
think
if
Josh
you could play
Allen's
the
going to
Bills-
Superman
Josh,
this?
No, yeah, Josh
Like,
Allen would have done the same shit. He has less weapons than Mahomes, and he's not getting
Yeah.
out of the pocket. Like he would
Right.
not have gotten out of the pocket. So
Yeah, I'm like, I get their offensive line is better than Kansas City's. I admit that. But our defense is better than Kansas City's defense, and he didn't do shit against them.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I just like,
You
what
got
are you
your
guys
ring.
talking about?
Yeah, you got your ring. Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Um,
it was an exciting game though. Not really exciting, like intense,
yeah.
but exciting one way.
Some of my favorite stats to come out of this game, though. There are 2 quarterbacks in NFL history that have scored more than 35 points or more in 2 playoff games in the same year. Those 2 quarterbacks are Joe Montana and Jalen Hurts
Damn.
because we
Yeah,
scored
it's always good
55 and
category.
40. Also, we now have the NFL record for the most points scored between a championship game and a Super Bowl at 95.
Damn.
The previous record was 87, set by the 49ers in like the 80s.
Damn.
So,
that is-
95 points in 2
I forgot
games
you guys
against
I forgot
the
you
best
guys
teams in
fucking
the country.
Destroyed the fucking Commanders.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Right.
55 to whatever. Yeah, that was fucking nuts.
yeah. Just crazy. This stat caught me off guard. Devontae Smith is the first player drafted out of Alabama to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Damn.
Yeah,
I guess that does because they always have that shit where like they're good statistically but never play on decent teams and stuff because they're always getting drafted high.
Right,
and
getting
then they
drafted
play for
early,
dog
yeah.
shit teams and yeah, so they're just out there getting tutties
Yeah.
but not playing in the postseason ever.
right.
Damn, that's actually kind of crazy because he also what was that other stat too that he became like the 4th player ever to do Heisman National Championship and
5th, yeah.
or
He's
fifth,
the
yeah,
5th player to win the national championship, win the Heisman, and a Super Bowl. Tony Dorsett, Marcus Allen, Reggie Bush, Charles Woodson, Devontae Smith.
Damn.
So just absolutely nuts. And then I'm a big defensive guy, so I have to give. We will get to Cooper DeJean, but I have to give Quinyon Bay
Oh my
a
God.
shout
Yeah,
out.
it's
He played 106 pass coverage plays, and this is playoff stats, all 4 games. 106 pass coverage plays. He allowed 5 receptions for 24 yards
that's
and had
insane.
2
That's
interceptions.
fucking crazy. Yeah, that's
He had a
insane.
7.1 passer rating allowed in the playoffs
Damn.
as
Yeah,
a
you guys
rookie.
got yourself a
Like,
dogs on defense.
and
Between
then
him, Blankenship,
yeah,
and Deshaun is crazy.
yes, and then get to Cooper DeJean. Just what a what an amazing birthday present, like to yourself.
Yeah, facts.
Like,
Facts. Yeah.
I just
21 or 22 or whatever. Yeah, and getting
yeah
this pick six and having Twitter light up about Jackie Robinson quotes and shit. Like, yeah, dude, it's
yes,
been an amazing week for him. I
yeah
had to look real quick because I was looking through our Discord at like some of the other stuff that we had sent. One of the things I sent was like an interesting Super Bowl wager where there was $51,000 on there not to be an octopus, which is where a player scores a touchdown and then also
right.
scores the 2-point conversion. And I had like a panic moment because I was like, oh my god, the Chiefs had 2 touchdown 2-point conversions. Were either one of those? Because like that
No,
dude just
separate
lost 50
players.
grand. Yeah, and they weren't. It was Worthy and Hopkins
Yeah,
and
Gray,
Juju.
Noah Gray, the tight end,
Wait, no,
second
pass
tight end.
short to touchdown for DeAndre Hopkins. No, it was the 2-point conversion was Jew Watson.
Oh, Julius Watson, the
Yeah,
receiver.
Noah Gray was not. Yeah, and then the earlier touchdown. Yeah, it was Worthy for a
Maybe Noah's
touchdown.
was the one that got called back on the
Yeah,
penalty.
yeah, it was. Yeah, it was Worthy for a
Yeah, that was
touchdown.
offensive
Kelsey
PI.
for an incomplete 2, and then
Yeah,
Hopkins for a touchdown. Jew Watson for a 2, and then Worthy for a touchdown and Hopkins for a 2. So like, yeah,
yeah,
it was good, dude. If I was that dude, you got 50 grand on the line. You see them going for touchdowns and 2s.
yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, dude.
Speaking of bets, some random dude in the Eagles Reddit posted
I
his
saw
receipt
that. That's
of
so fucking
he
crazy.
guessed the final score of the Super Bowl correct. He only put 20 cents down and won $200
Dude, yeah, plus
guessing.
100,000 is
Yeah,
insane odds.
yeah, and I read through the comments that were underneath it, and apparently it was just like free money to play with that he got from whoever that is. It looks like probably ESPN bet based on the color scheme. Um, and
Yeah,
yeah, just wild to actually guess like 40 to 22. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how you guess. I was even nervous. I full disclosure, I thought the Eagles would win. I was confident the Eagles would win this game.
17-0. I said, okay, it's about to happen. And then the pick six happened, and I went, damn, 24-0 at half is kind of tough. But Patty
Pick
gets the ball
six
back.
made it 17-0, and then they
Or yeah,
intercepted
yeah, yeah.
it at like the
Intercepted
15-yard
scored
line.
again.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So the interception where I was like, damn, this is getting kind of crazy now. They got a lot of catching up to do, but here they come. And
yeah,
then another touchdown, and I was like, damn, 24-0 is like kind of steep. And then like Kaylee was like, what are they doing? And I was like, I mean, chill, because it's the Chiefs. And I was
yes,
like, Patty's gonna come out and get 2 touchdowns right out of the gate. Like he's gonna get a touchdown when they come out
yeah.
in the third quarter, and then just like totally flat. And it was like, oh my god, like, and then it just kept
And then
spreading.
Jalen
And it was
Hurts
like,
threw that dagger to Devontae,
yes,
34, and I was like, this
yeah,
game's over.
yeah. It did. I
This is
was like, this
over.
is crazy. And then
Yeah,
it's like, as the third quarter winds down, you're like, all right, there's still kind of statistically a chance. And then as soon as like fourth quarter starts, it just jumped from like 15 to like 12 minutes, and it's still a 4-possession game. And I was like, oh, this is fucking over. Like,
yes,
there's no way the Eagles are doing 4 possessions
right.
of 3 and out, bad clock management, throwing the ball incomplete, like,
Yeah,
and then also losing onside. I was like, there's
right.
just no way. I was like, there's fucking impossible. I was like, this
Yes,
game is over. I was like, Patty could throw a touchdown bomb. Jalen could fumble the snap. Patty could throw another touchdown. They could get an onside kick. Patty throws another touchdown. Now what luck do they have? Like they
yeah,
only had a fumble on a kneel, and then they got an outside kick. Like there's no magic left at that point. I was like, they're not gonna get 4 possessions in a row and score and hold the Eagles. I was like, this shit's over. And
yeah,
like, yeah, literally you just watch the clock wind out, and it was like, damn,
yeah. I just
it
like
was crazy.
I should have looked this up because I really wanted to. I just completely forgot about it until just now. I want to know the last time a team put backups in the Super Bowl.
Mm.
Like, when was the last time the backup quarterback kneeled the football in the Super Bowl? And like, not because of injury. That's the
Right,
caveat.
right,
Is
right.
like, I'm sure somebody at some point got hurt.
I'm trying to think of the last blowout. Tampa Bay, Kansas City. Do you think Tom let someone else kneel the ball?
I don't.
I don't. I don't think so.
I don't, because I don't remember Seattle doing it. I'm pretty sure Russ kneeled it.
Ready? Oh wait, no, that's a receiver. That was just a bad play. All right.
Yeah.
Brady. Yeah, I think Tom kneeled it. Yeah, we'll have to look then, dig into it.
Yeah,
Not
but
a
like,
lot of huge
just
spreads. Yeah, 31-9 was the last. Yeah, Tampa Bay over Kansas City. That was the big flop, and
yeah,
then there hasn't been a big blowout.
since.
All right, moving on. Next
Yeah.
topic. We don't need to talk about this shit anymore.
Yeah.
This is pointless.
No, the real score of the Super Bowl is 40-6. We all know it.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, which is still not nearly as good as 43-8. Not as bad as 43. I mean, we at least scored 8 fucking points, so it's whatever. It's whatever.
More than the Chiefs did.
Tavares Jackson had a throw in that Super Bowl, but it doesn't look like.
Okay, Kenny Pickett had a throw in this Super Bowl.
Okay,
An incomplete pass on third down. Yeah.
Yeah, Tavares Jackson was 0 for 1. There's a name you haven't heard in a while. Tavares Jackson, Percy Harvin, Marshawn Lynch, Russell Wilson. Can't believe
Yeah,
that fucking
but the question
sucked.
is, was that like a trick play or something, or was that actually at the end of the game? I don't know.
Right. No, yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I'm looking for like a backup quarterback name that I recognize in the rushing column of the box score. And so far, there hasn't been any quarterbacks that I've seen for like -2 yards or whatever.
Oh,
so,
right.
I know Tom kneeled it.
Right.
Russ kneeled it. So, yeah, it's nothing so far back.
Yeah, I just like.
Yeah, so yeah, Kenny Pickett probably set
But
some kind of record.
seen.
I'm back 15 years at this point, so.
Yeah, just getting to see all the pictures of Kenny Pickett going around like this man's a Super Bowl champ before Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson,
so
like
crazy.
All the guys that he played in the same division as. Just cracks me up. And then, man, props to Howie Roseman. Just to assemble that roster. I was reading about it today on the Eagles Reddit about how like our 2017 Super Bowl. The reason it was so different was because we brought in a lot of pieces at the trade deadline that like made our team so much better. And then like Carson Wentz went down and like you had Nick Foles. Like our team was just healthy. That is the luck of the NFL. Like we were just healthy, almost. We had a few guys miss a game. AJ Brown missed a few games. Dallas Goedert missed a few games. A few guys on defense did.
Without that sluggish start, you guys had a chance to have like one of the greatest seasons ever.
Yeah,
you guys were just rolling all year after that initial like flop, and then it just was like go time.
Right, and like everybody was just like, "Oh, well, Jalen's not throwing for more than 120 yards, and he's only throwing 18 passes." And like Jalen Hurts quote, "I'm keeping the main thing. The main thing." Dude just kept winning, all season long. He just won every game, just one after another, and ran it the whole way to the Super Bowl.
Congratulations to y'all. Happy for you.
I'm so excited to go to the parade Friday.
Yeah, I'm gonna float it tomorrow. It's probably unlikely, but yeah, I'll see what they think.
And so excited to go down for the parade Friday. I had to work or during our last one, so I wasn't able to go to that. I watched the live stream of it, but yeah. And then I did probably emotionally, but like it's now 2 days later. I'm not upset by it. Buy tickets for the Eagles home opener.
Yep.
So
that's it. As soon as you said that, I was like, damn, that's great. I want to take the boys. I was like, because like that's like a core member. Like if they're hype on the Eagles right now, I was like, I want to ride that train into next season so they go to the home opener and then they're locked in all year. And I was like, we need to definitely do that.
I literally texted Jamie that day, and because my uncle texted me and was like, hey, we should look into going to the home opener. And I was like, no shit, I know a guy. And so I hit him up, and he was like, yeah, I'll reserve your seats. And I texted Jamie, I was like, hey, I'm taking Bruni to the home opener. Do you want to go? She was like, yeah, that'd be fun. Like, it'll be warm. Like, it'll, should be nice weather. Everybody's going to be in a celebratory mood. Like, hey, we're celebrating the Super Bowl. Watch the banner fall.
Yeah. Like, as soon as you said that, I could not have hit that email any faster. I told Kaylee, and she just was like, we have obviously, depending on who's listening, the news and stuff, like things going on this year, but like with Rand's baby and stuff. And it just was like, probably shouldn't do that, but I was like, I put the deposit. I was like, let's just chill for a second. I was like, I emailed him. The deposit's not due for a little bit. I was like, it's not due until March 1st or whatever. So I was like, we can
And
talk
like,
about it for a couple weeks. And he even said too, once you get the tickets, if you don't like them, you can just refund and get all your
yes,
money back. So I was like, I'll just play it off as we
I
don't
did
like the
that for
ticket price.
the
And
I did that for the Gallus game this year. I reserved 4 tickets, and then he wanted like 320, and I was like, that's really not bad for the Dallas game, but like the weather looked shitty, and I was like,
yeah,
nah.
Netflix. Yeah,
And like we were just so good that I wasn't. And Dallas was so bad that I was like, I don't really want to pay that much
wanted
money to go
to
watch
see a
them.
complete blowout.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like don't get me wrong, I love watching Dallas get blown out, but like I can do that
right.
at home.
Yeah,
Um,
for free.
yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, you just literally like it's just a deposit. He gives you your money back if you don't want it because he knows he can
Yeah,
sell them to somebody else.
right.
Props of being
Yeah,
or good part about being a Philadelphia fan.
yeah. So
So
I did a little digging.
okay, here it is.
I haven't checked every single Super Bowl. I'm gonna have
Sure.
to because I want to know for sure. Because like, what the fuck are the odds?
Yeah.
What I found confirmed by Pro Football Reference on the GameCast full play-by-play. 1999 Super Bowl, January 31st, Miami, in the old Pro Player Stadium. Denver 34, Atlanta 19. John Elway, second to last play of the game, takes a run -2 yards to the middle of the field, comes off the field. Bobby Brister, backup quarterback for the Denver Broncos, comes in and takes a kneel for 1 yard. And game's over. So the Broncos
Damn.
were the last team to do it to the Eagles. So yeah, it's
Even
funny
that
how
though
shit,
is like,
it's funny how shit like that works though.
yeah. I
Like you being an Eagles fan and me being a Broncos fan, you bring up that weird stat. Me doing digging, I saw it and I was like, no fucking way, dude. So it's confirmed Bobby Brister did it. There might be someone in there that had a closer score that let a backup kneel, but I think that's the thing that like in a one-score game, nobody's sending the backup in.
right.
So like, I
Yeah.
checked all the other ones that were bigger spreads, and that was a 15-point game, and they sent
Yeah.
the backup in. They sent
Yeah.
Shanahan to get your ass in there.
Yeah. It was crazy. I forget who it was. I wish I could remember, but they were talking about they looked up how many yards Saquon had in the playoffs, and they're like, it's not out of the question that he could go for 1,000 in 4 games in the playoffs.
We were
Like he
talking
could
about
have
that whenever
1,000 yards
He
himself.
shattered Terrell Davis's shit. Like
Yeah,
he
I
just
mean
fucked it all
he
up.
didn't, but he was close. I mean, he
The
because the
combined
Chiefs shut him.
regular
Oh
end.
yeah, because of the
The
combined.
combined
Yeah, because he had
regular,
like
yeah,
40
yeah.
receiving yards.
Yes,
Yeah,
he needed like. Oh, no, I mean even before that, I thought in going into the NFC Championship game, he only needed like 60 yards to take second and first place from Terrell Davis for the all-time.
no, it was just second place. He was going into the Super Bowl. He was 30
he still needed
yards
like
behind
another.
his rushing totals.
Uh,
I don't know what his all-purpose yards was going into the Super Bowl, but the specifically rushing yards only,
yards from scrimmage, AJ.
whatever. He was 30 yards
Yeah,
behind going into the game, and then I think he had like 40 rushing yards and 40 receiving yards.
Interesting. Yeah, so he probably did
yeah.
end up passing.
He did, yeah. He got the record for the most yards all time in a season for a running back. But
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
but yeah, just nuts, and like dude's on a 3-year contract.
Yeah.
2 more years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
you
like,
guys left the fuck
we're-
out. I cannot believe that'll like that legitimately to our date as like our lifetime has got to be like the most notorious clip of any football of anything. Like if there was a video of Ray Lewis stabbing that guy or Plaxico Burress shooting himself
Yeah.
in the club or like
Jason
Odell getting
Pierre-Paul
pooped
blowing a
on,
finger off.
blowing
Yeah.
a finger out. Like if any of those like we had like confirmed like Snapchat videos
Right.
of, it'd be like, oh shit, remember that time? Just type in a little Google Jason Pierre-Paul loses finger. Like,
Yeah.
but we don't have any of that. So like, what is the next dumbest all-time video? It's the Mara people sitting in that
Yes.
room. His son telling him to draft Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels having one of the most historic rookie seasons of all time.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them going, I don't know if I would sleep at night if we lose.
Yeah,
Saquon
the
to the
owner
Eagles."
saying, I don't
And
know if
then
I can
him
sleep at
going
night.
to the
Yeah.
Eagles and winning a Super Bowl and having the best running back season of all time. Like,
Yes.
that's some scripted shit almost. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm the Giants, I just pack it in, sell it, and move that team to Vegas or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I forget who said this too, but I want to hear your thoughts. They were talking about how the Eagles have just shifted how the NFC specifically, but also a little bit of the AFC, but the NFC specifically, how they tool their teams. And their point was if you're Detroit, if you're Green Bay, if you're Minnesota, if you're Washington, you have to sit there and think, I need to be drafting offensive linemen
Yeah.
or, signing offensive linemen because The Eagles
You have to
line
deal with
is
the
not
Eagles
going anywhere.
defense. Yeah,
The
yeah.
Josh Sweat
Not,
is a free agent.
it's not
Um,
even just the line; it's the fact that your quarterback has zero time. So you guys have an
right.
overall great defense. So it's not even like you're whipping out checkdowns to the corners and shit like DeJean and Blankenship and fucking Guantanamo Bay are fucking there. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, like it's a tough day to play against the Eagles at
Right.
this point, especially now because you guys are riding the Super Bowl high. So like
Yeah.
next
And
next
then
season could be good for you guys too.
their other point was, does this shift the NFL's view from running back by committee to, hey, you need a really good running back and a good
True.
offensive line? And if you have
Let him
those two
cook.
things, because last year we had the running back by committee. We had DeAndre Swift. We had Kenneth Gainwell. I forget who the other guy was, our third string guy. Um,
I don't remember.
but
Miles
like,
Sanders was the year before that.
yeah. But like we had that, and so like, does that change the NFL's view? I think it has to, right? Like
Yeah,
at
I
least
mean
for the
it's
NFC, because you know
that's
that,
yeah.
like, hey, we're gonna be competing against the Eagles, like
Whereas
especially
like the
Washington, who's in
AFC,
our division, because like you got to beat the Eagles now for the division championship. Otherwise, you're going to Philly again, and look how that turned out.
yeah, which out realistically then like it's probably the opposing view for the AFC where the Chiefs, Eagles, Bills have like Bengals have such wild offenses that everyone's probably trying to focus on beefing up the defense to become like the Eagles. Like there really isn't
Right?
an Eagle of the AFC, so like
Yeah.
that's kind of an open spot right now is like who's gonna have this fucking sick mean defensive line, some crazy linebackers and
Yeah.
some flying around corners. Because then you get to pretty much control. Yeah, the defense is what's going to win the championship, and that proved to be true this year.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys had an insane offensive season too. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you guys had a number one defense. So
I mean, when you only have to score 20 points to win a game,
yeah,
it
yeah,
it's hard to lose.
yeah.
Like, as long as you're not turning the ball over and putting the defense in shitty scenarios, which Jalen did an amazing job of doing this season, um, it was like almost a guaranteed win.
Yeah, jealous.
You'll get there.
Yeah,
I am hopeful that the Eagles ended the Patriots dynasty. I am very
yes, I would
hopeful
appreciate
they
it.
ended the Chiefs.
I don't think so. I do think that like Patty's like 28. Like he has like 10
Right.
years left of this
Okay.
shit. Like
Yes, but hear me out. The guys around him are old. You're gonna have to start paying people. Like Travis Kelsey, I heard today, is on a 17 million cap hit for next year.
yeah,
You
I
can't
mean
be paying
yeah, like
Kelsey 17 million with the performance he put out this season. If he's doing the same thing, you're not going to be able to
yeah,
pay,
he'll be the
and
oddball out. But I
right.
mean like
And
yeah,
like you're paying Chris Jones, like you're going to start losing pieces, and you need an offensive line.
I mean, like, yeah, like I don't know. I mean, believe me, I hope I hope Patty gets traded, Andy Reid retires, Travis Kelce
We don't know
retires.
if
Like,
Patty's not getting traded, but
yeah, like,
like,
just
and
like let it
Andy
all
Reid said he's
crumble
not
apart.
retiring, but like,
Yeah, I feel like, but yeah, true. Andy Reid can only do so much. So, and it's like Patty is still going to be there, Reid will still be there, Kelce will probably retire, Chris Jones will probably retire, and like I think that opens like a big window for us.
yeah, no, I think it's very reasonable to say that the Chiefs, they'll be around, but I don't know that it'll be 7 straight
Yeah,
championship games anymore.
yeah,
I
if they could
just
fall off, that'd be sweet.
yeah, I and like here's the thing is they were talking about again, I apologize for who this was because I just consumed so much of it. They were talking about the difference between the Patriots dynasty and the Chiefs dynasty. When you look at the divisions they play in, the Patriots never had competition in their division. You look at the Chiefs division now, and
They have three
y'all,
legitimate teams
yes,
that they have to fuck around with.
right, like it's no longer, hey, there's 6 wins. It's if you go 3-3 in that division, you're probably pretty happy.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I
You
mean? Like,
split each. You just win your
yeah,
home games and call it a day. Like you're in
yeah,
a good spot
right.
because you didn't.
If you go 4-3, you're ecstatic.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like, because like you look at this season and like they did lose to the Raiders, right? No, that was the Ravens that lost to the Raiders.
Yeah.
Um,
So did the Broncos.
yeah, but
But no,
like
we beat them both times this year. This was
you
the
did,
first year we've
yeah.
done it in a while because I didn't hear Devin's fucking ass calling me.
Um,
Bartle do. How are the Broncos going? Hey, Devin, how the Raiders doing? Dude, Pete Carroll
Um,
hiring ass.
so yeah, like they got a hell of a division to contend in, and then you look outside the division, you have the Raiders or the Ravens, the Bills, Cincinnati presumably is better than they were this year.
I would hope so.
I mean, if Joe Burrow is half of what he was, and you get some form of a defense, like it's not
Didn't
conceivable.
they? Oh yeah, they got Al Golden from Notre Dame,
Who's they?
the Bengals. Sorry. He was the Golden was previously the Bengals
He's the
linebacker
defensive
coach.
coordinator.
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
got hired because the Bengals defensive coordinator went to the Colts.
Yeah.
And then, 2022 to 2024, Golden was the defensive coordinator for the University of Notre Dame, and so now he's back to the Bengals because that
Yeah.
spot opened back up. So, yeah, I mean they have a new defensive coordinator, basically is what I was saying because Lou
Yeah.
Anamarua was the one that left. Um, and that's like where they obviously had a huge hole this year because their offense
Yeah.
was insane, and like Burrow was an MVP candidate, and they were fucking
Right.
dog shit. So yeah, like we were all like, if we would have lost that last game, we would have let them into the playoffs, which is sickening.
Um, that's a great segue into our next topic. Kellen Moore officially becomes the Saints head coach this morning. Honestly, it took a day longer than I expected it to. I was just waiting all day Monday to get that update.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, you guys are looking for an OC now.
yeah, I'm really disappointed. Um,
Yeah,
I just he did such a good job this year that it's kind of like,
was
please
he the reason?
stay.
Yeah,
I
was he
I
the reason for
I
the
get it.
success? Like was
Yeah.
running back, but then yeah, they start
Um,
talking salaries, and it's like, damn, yeah, I'm out of here.
Yeah, but I think what's more disappointing is that like at this point because we had such a good season and it went so long, the top candidates are already gone.
Yeah, that Belichick
And
had that shit right. He was talking about that the other day too. It's so dumb that it's all over the place for like
yeah,
when you can talk to an interviewing during the playoff. Like that's so ghetto. Like
yeah,
turn off everything. The season should still be in play. No one like there's a trade deadline and shit for a reason. Like is that not tampering? Like where's the NBA at? Like get out of
right,
tampering here. So yeah, I definitely think that all that shit should stop. It should just be like 1 week from the Super Bowl. Like it could be Black Sunday, like that's what they call it, because there's gonna be
right,
coaches getting fired, coaches getting hired, people getting traded, re-signed, whatever. Like nothing
yeah,
can happen from Super Bowl until that following Sunday, and in that way we all have something to look forward to the Sunday after, because there's like
right,
drama and excitement and shit. But
yeah,
yeah, it sucks because like if you guys would have lost that game, it's like is Kellen Moore checked out because he was paying attention to his job, like all that dumb shit, just like the
right,
Lions coaches, like
yeah,
yeah. So it's just dumb that they're even allowed to do that, but. Yeah, so yeah, you guys lose him, but yeah, you're right. All the good candidates are taken. However, though, people, even like college coordinators that have re-signed and said I'm staying here, well, now the Eagles' offensive coordinator job is open. Like they're walking for that. So like
oh yes,
you still do get like top candidates, but
yeah,
the ones that were available and that you might have been scouting are now gone, and you didn't know it until now. But yeah, you could still go steal someone from somewhere where they're like the Eagles are calling fucking Deuce Temple University. Like I'm out of here. So yeah, it could definitely be something. But also, you guys could do the whole upgrade from within, somebody that knows the defense already, or from the offense, and just kind of bumps up. So
yeah, you're not wrong. I'm just interested to
usually
see who
not.
they pick, and like you gotta feel bad for Jalen Hurts. He's
Yeah,
going into
fucking
year
yet another.
6 and he's got 5 offensive coordinators.
I don't feel bad. The man just won the Super Bowl. Fuck off. I don't feel bad. Deal with it. Fucking deal with it.
I
Oh,
just
you have
like
a new boss. Boo hoo. Like, yeah. But no, that
that's a new
obviously, yeah, that
offense.
sucks. No,
Like
yeah, no, I know that definitely sucks. Like,
like
yeah,
every
the man,
offseason they're like, "Hey, here's a
here's a
entire new playbook."
Yeah,
Yeah.
learn another new playbook.
Yeah, it's just like ugh. And speaking of on the outs and learning new playbooks, Aaron Rodgers out in New York Jets.
Yeah,
I
that
guess he
I
flew out there on
saw.
his own dime and they basically agreed to not work together.
He flew out there anticipating being re-signed,
Right.
and so he flew out and was like, "Yo, I'm here." And they said, "We're actually cutting you." He said, "I'm sorry, what, bitch?" So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure that that was interesting for him to hear. The day before it happened, though, I had heard. Where was it? Someone there was Rams. Devonte Adams to the Rams was like the rumor, and then I was like, well, that doesn't make sense because like they're getting rid of Cooper Cup, so like why would they have him do that? And then the other team was Chargers and 49ers, and both of those I could see happening. 49ers are a little less likely for Aaron because he hates the 49ers for passing on him after being his favorite team.
Yeah.
So he'll never play there, I don't think. I think that's like a spiteful thing.
Maybe.
And he's not going to go to the Chargers because they have a quarterback.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, if the 49ers need a quarterback and they're willing to pay fucking Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams to come out there, like, they all of a sudden have a team again too, which sounds dumb because I never thought the Jets were going to be what everyone thought they were. Like everyone was just like they are top tier, like they're so good now, and I was like, I don't know why the fuck Aaron picked the Jets to begin with. But yeah, the 49ers picking up Devontae and Aaron would be crazy depending on what they do with Brock Purdy. But yeah, I'm excited to see where Aaron goes. I hope he still plays. I hope that he's not done. I intrigued to play on the West Coast. He'd be open to talk to teams like the Rams. That's for Devontae Adams, but. Yeah, I want to see where Aaron goes. I think that would be interesting.
Yeah. No, this is going to be a very interesting season and off season, and I'm here for it.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
You just like there's so many big names already out there that you're kind of like, damn, like what if they went there? What if they went there? What if this guy went here? And like there's still something big popping off, like Jared Goff or Matthew Stafford trade or something like that.
Rodgers to the Raiders. Devontae already played for the Raiders. They both go back. You get Pete Carroll, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers all in one room. That could be a dynamic fucking offense. And like they have.
Do you think Devontae goes back?
I think he had beef with Antonio Pierce. I think that like Pierce probably wasn't doing like head coach shit, and Devontae knows what that looks like from winning in Green Bay. So like I feel like the Raiders were probably a shit show at that point, but also yeah, he did have kind of a fucking shitty exit out of there. But I mean, Rodgers to the Raiders, I feel like that makes a ton of sense though. Like having no quarterback, having Brady and Pete Carroll there, like that would be someone that they would want. I remember that there's always been the rumor of him to the Giants.
Yeah,
he just already lives in New York, so
right?
Fuck, I was gonna play for them instead. Fuck faces.
No, I definitely the Giants was the first team that came to my mind when I heard, hey, he's out in New York for the Jets. I'm like, well, he already lives there. The Giants need a quarterback, and like you can draft a quarterback, let him sit for a year behind Aaron Rodgers. You know, if it's not going well, then you can put him in. Do like the Penix stuff in Atlanta this year. It's not stupid. I don't know that it'd be good either though, because like my thing is like, if you're Aaron Rodgers, are you gonna sign with a team that literally has no chance of making the playoffs?
Yeah, like you're just playing to play because
right.
Else, like that's like.
Are you playing to play or are you chasing a ring?
Yeah, like the 49ers are probably like the only team where he could be like a fix it for it, but like and try to get a Super Bowl. But yeah, you're not running the Giants with no one. You're not running the Raiders with no one. Like none of those teams really have anybody. But I mean, Brock Bowers, like that might be a legit candidate for him and Devontae. I mean, but again, Devontae going back to the Raiders seems pretty unlikely.
Yeah,
so
I did think there was something behind the 49ers one. I guess I didn't truly know about like him not wanting to play for them because of passing on him and stuff.
Yeah, he was a 49ers fan growing up. They passed on him, and then he got drafted by the Packers. Yeah, and now like has like this spite against the 49ers. Sure, but he could still probably just suck it up and go play for $20 million a year.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense because it sounds like they're not really getting very far with Brock Purdy.
No, yeah.
And like then you start hearing rumors about like, well, where's Brock Purdy going? And I'm like, please go to the Giants.
Please give us a couple extra wins.
Yeah, like
I also saw that like if the Steelers end up moving on from Russ and Justin Fields because it'll cost them nothing, Rodgers could end up on the Steelers. The other two teams, and I was trying to find it, but I think it was the Colts and the Titans, which both make sense. But like again, he's not going to go in like Colts, Titans, Giants, Raiders. Like doesn't feel like Super Bowl chasing. 49ers feels like ring chasing, and that's like Steelers could possibly be ring chasing.
And then I do want to bring this up just because I saw it today and it just took me a minute to find it. Otherwise, I'd have brought it up sooner. There's a post today. SBE Football on Instagram said, should Aaron Rodgers retire? Have you seen this post? Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay. I'm going to give you a blind resume.
Okay.
I want you to see if you can guess who it is. So Aaron Rodgers had 3,897 yards, 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 60 this year, 63.6% completion.
Okay.
This quarterback had 3,731 yards, It's like 150-ish yards less. 28 touchdowns, passing touchdowns, same amount. 6 interceptions, so 5 less interceptions, and only a 63% completion percentage. Can you guess who
It
that
was
was?
this
Is
season.
this season.
3,000 yards.
3,700 yards, 28 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 63 compared to almost 3,900 yards, 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
Oh, see, okay, yeah. So I was about to say, I was like, damn, that's a good year though, because I was like, that's like, I was like,
It's,
I
it
was
is a
trying to
good
think
year.
of dog shit quarterbacks, and I was like, no, like that's a decent year. I was gonna say Sam Darnold, but it can't be. It's got to be Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson.
You hit it. Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, is
Yeah.
it? Yeah, that sounds like it's got to
Yeah.
be because he's the MVP.
Yes,
and Aaron
that was their
Rodgers
whole point.
did it with
like,
the fucking
hey.
Jets. Like that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Aaron Rodgers he does bring a team up, but like the Jets
Yeah.
are so fucking bad.
Yeah. Now, obviously, Josh Allen had the rushing touchdowns. I don't know how many rushing touchdowns he had this year. Josh Allen rushing touchdown.
I only figured that out because I used the logic. I would have guessed Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold would have been my guess, but then I was like, no, because I feel like he had way more picks than that. But then I was like,
Yeah.
as soon as I said that in my head, I was like, wait, I remember talking about how few interceptions were thrown this year by Allen and Lamar Jackson, and like
Yeah.
that's crazy that he had similar.
He had
numbers.
12 rushing touchdowns this season, so he had 40 total touchdowns. I don't know how many.
Aaron Rodgers.
No,
Aaron Rodgers
he might have had one,
rushing
if that.
touchdowns. 35 all time.
Yeah.
He had 0 this year.
Yeah.
Get a little old, Aaron. He had a
Right.
year with 4. That was his highest ever. No, he had a 5. He had a 5 in 2009. That's their Super Bowl year.
But yeah, I saw that post and I was like, well, I guess he's not as bad as we thought he was. Like, he still had 3,800 yards and 28 touchdowns. Like,
Yeah, that's I
that's not a bad season for a quarterback.
to this day wish we would have just signed Aaron instead of Russell Wilson. Like,
Yeah.
feel like we would have been in contention at least. Like we
Yeah.
would have been a decent team. Like we had such a good defense, and we signed Russ, and it was like, oh my god, this could be the answer. But why did I not just get A-Rod?
I just thought about
then-
this. Could you see A-Rod going to Tennessee?
That was one of the other ones that they had said
Yeah.
that it was Tennessee and Indianapolis were the two that like he could go to, but it was just like, why the fuck would he waste his time to go to either one of those? Like they're just like Tennessee was rough this year too. Like they got beat up by the Bears. Like
Right, but they're the
were
number 1
rough.
overall pick.
That is true. You get Aaron, you get a good player, but I mean they'd have to trade it for a haul and then use that to better the team and then get. I mean, you could do that though.
Yeah.
You could, absolutely.
I don't see why you wouldn't. I mean, I see why you wouldn't. I don't see why you couldn't, I guess is a better way to say
Yeah.
that. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the NFL.
Yeah,
Do you have anything else to add?
Nope.
I don't think we talked about Deebo Samuel requested a trade as well.
Oh, yeah.
And the 49ers said, hey, go find us a partner.
Yeah, so you do the work.
Yeah. So
You fuck up the team you're going to.
another one that's like, well, where's he gonna go? So there's a lot of pieces to fall into place, and I am super excited to see what happens. Okay, question for you: do you take? You're in New Orleans. Do you take Derek Carr or Aaron Rodgers?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, that's
Who do you take?
cause I don't hate Derek Carr there.
Me neither.
'cause it feels like he's got some chemistry going and everything, but like he gets hurt, but like so does A-Rod, and then like if he's got chemistry with Alvin Kamara, but it's just like it feels like this thing where it's like no matter what Derek Carr can do, Aaron Rodgers can probably do it a little bit better. Like
Right.
he has a little bit more awareness, probably a little bit more pocket presence. Like
Does
a
Michael
little bit
Thomas
more-
finally come off the injured
he said,
reserve?
"Hey, Ron, shit, my toe ain't looking so bad anymore." Like, I forgot about that too. Like Michael Thomas, I think he's a free agent now. I think the Saints cut him, so he's just out in limbo. like,
Yeah.
not even being signed. Like, yeah, that's what a career wasted. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of spots that A-Rod could fall, and that's it. Like the Steelers are one that
Yeah.
I feel like could be a viable option, which then leaves Russ on the outside looking in to go somewhere. So Russ ends up in Tennessee or Indianapolis or something.
Russ takes you to the playoffs, and you really get rid of him for
I mean,
Aaron?
they could because I feel like I think that we're still paying him for 2 more years. So that's pretty much the other thing too is that like they get him on a fucking rental contract. So
Yeah.
but Yeah.
All right.
Other than that, yeah, football
Um,
stuff. I'm excited for next year.
very
Like that.
excited.
Yeah. Yeah. When we get to
Um,
next year, I'm just ready to get
NASCAR
next year
season
started.
is here. We will talk about that and much more come Thursday night / Friday morning.
Sure.
Touch on all of our other sports for the weekend, get updated, and then we'll go from there.
Sounds good. Congratulations on your Super Bowl win, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very
Happy
excited.
for you. I'm happy for you.
This is a fun one. The moose's natural predator is the orca whale.
Is that based on like size and assumptions, or are
That
mooses near the
is,
water and the orcas are snatching them out of the
that's it.
shoreline?
Yeah.
Damn.
It's not the shoreline. Moose will actually swim between islands and stuff like that, and they'll.
And they just fucking
Yep.
whole
Yeah.
ass moose, dude.
Yeah.
I need a fucking video of an orca snatching up a moose. I need like a GoPro inside
if-
that orca's mouth because I want like this is so fucking morbid, but like I want to hear a whole moose squish. Like you know those press videos they do where the shit. That's what I feel like in my head, but it's all moose bones. Like you know how thick
There
the
is-
fucking femur is. Like,
Yes.
like that, and that whale is just like boop Jolly Rancher, boop Jolly Rancher. Like that ain't shit to him.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
That is an interesting rabbit hole if you've never been down it to just watch orca whale attack videos.
Yeah,
It's
orca eat moose
scary,
video.
wild, crazy.
Orca hunting moose. Oh my god.
I'm sure it's out there.
Oh yeah, I'm about to watch this shit. Oh my god, that's fucking wild, dude. Yeah, that's out of fuck. Yeah. Because right away I was like, okay, are you just saying that like in the food chain, like that's the next reasonable thing? But like, no, these mooses be out there
Yeah.
and they fucking get snatched.
Yeah.
Up. That's so crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. I get any of those like nature is metal videos. Like, if
yeah.
I click on Twitter and it's like a lion shredding a zebra, I'm like, well, I know what I'm doing for the next 2 hours. Like, I know my algorithm is reading
great
my
Reddit
eyes,
page.
and I'm not getting out of here. So
Yeah.
yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah. So
Orca eating a whole ass moose. That's fucking wild. Yeah, that's because then as soon as I said it in my head, where I was like, oh, they just swim over to the shoreline and snatching them, and I was like, what shoreline is big enough for an orca to get up to and then like straight up and grab
Yeah.
the moose and back? And I was like,
yeah, they're
if
not
it's
quite
like
alligators
this,
or something.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, exactly. Like as soon as I said it, I was like, no, that's not right. And so I was like, that can't even be it. And you said they swim, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
So a moose is actually a pretty good swimmer for the record.
Yeah, you could
but
see
yeah.
them like they're moving.
Yeah, they can move. Yeah.
Not as quick as an orca.
Yeah. Well, a whole
God.
pod of them too. So it's not just one. It's like 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like,
Dude, the videos
boom,
of I
boom.
think it is orcas too, where they're fucking with the seals, where they do like.
Oh
the
yeah, they
team
flip them
attacks.
off the ice.
They
Yeah.
fucking like 3 in a row, and it fucking flings them, and then they're just like throwing around the dead body for no
Yeah.
reason. Like,
Yeah, dude,
yeah,
orcas are wild
they're
creatures.
like a group of like fucked up teenagers that don't have any parental supervision, like us, but way, way, way worse. Like, we did non-harmful shit. Like, we wanted to light firecrackers and be out late and do dumb shit and go into vacant buildings, but like, yeah, the orcas feel like the kids that like legitimately steal cars and shit. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's insane. I'm about to watch orca videos for the next like 2 hours, so this is gonna
Well,
take me a little while.
There you go. All right, everybody. We appreciate you listening. Like, subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Go Birds. And
Dilly
we'll
dilly.
see you Thursday night / Friday.
On that, GG's.